So right now, hashtag I stand with Schiff is trending on Twitter as there's a national discussion right now about accountability for the Russian collusion lie that, of course, we have seen perpetrated and pushed by the pretty much establishment, by the elites, by the mainstream media, by a lot of the Democrats, or as the conservatives say, the libtards. But this discussion is very interesting, and I think it's worth it's worth talking about and noting for many different reasons. But recently, Donald Trump criticized the former lawmaker, Adam Schiff, who, of course, is on he is the head of the Intelligence Committee, who's been one of the major proponents of this Russian collusion lie. And Donald Trump pretty much came out and equated to what Adam Schiff was doing to a crime, to criminality. Now, of course, Adam Schiff and other lawmakers, other Democrats, and other mainstream media figures were always saying that Trump was colluding with Russia, and that was treason. Treason, treason, treason. Russia, Russia, Russia is what we predominantly heard over and over and over again. Now we're seeing Trump fire back, and with Trump firing back, as of just now, 9 Republican lawmakers, a part of the House Intelligence Committee, said, Schiff, you should resign. Showing again more political theater on this insane situation that's only getting more insane from here. Jason, what's your take on it? I know you got some interesting puns set up for us, ready to go with Mr. Schiff there. So let's just have it.
Well, it's just so ridiculous, Luke. As we look at this, right? So nine people on the Intelligence Committee. They said, "Look, that's enough." All the Republicans said, "Look, this is enough. Get off." You think Schiff backed down? Oh no, old Schiffy McGee.
He's doubling down, and this is why it's trending right now.
Goodness.
I stand with Schiff. And again, the delusion is there should be some repercussions, I think, Jason. There should be some accountability, not only with lawmakers, but specifically also the mainstream media for pushing this lie. Because again, it didn't take a genius to know. These guys weren't hoodwinked. These guys weren't lied to. It also just came out, according to Rand Paul. Rand Paul's releasing a lot of interesting information around this entire situation. Another very famous pundit that the mainstream media built up throughout these last 2 to 3 years of this Trump delusion was, of course, John Brennan. Now we're hearing from U.S. Senator Rand Paul that it was, according to his high-level sources, that it was John Brennan, the former CIA head, who insisted that the unverified and fake Steele dossier, the dossier that talked about Trump getting peed on by Russian prostitutes in the bed that Barack Obama slept in, so it was now, according to Rand Paul, it was Brennan who insisted that the Steele dossier be included in an intelligence report, and that's why it brought it legitimacy. And if this happened, holy cow, this doesn't surprise me, because Brennan, even just 3 weeks ago, he was saying, Trump's going to be indicted. Trump's going to be indicted. Trump officials are going to go to jail. And he's been absolutely wrong, trying, of course, to push this misnomer, this bigger lie on people. And there should be some accountability, because this was a conspiracy against the president of the United States by very powerful people. Donald Trump's playing their game now and saying, Adam Schiff, you're a criminal. Let's kick him off the Intelligence Committee and have repercussions. What do you think? Is that justified or not, Jason?
It's 100% justified. And here's Schiff, basically in his little haiku mode. Oh, I'm clever. I wrote something down that I'm going to repeat and repeat it again. Now, one of the glaring lies that we're about to hear him talk about is Guccifer 2.0 and how it's connected to the GRU, and that's the Russian agency, and they're directly connected. They put him in touch with Roger Stone. I've seen no evidence of that. And, you know, they repeated that lie in the 4 pages the AG Barr put out there, saying Guccifer 2.0, GRU. I've yet to see the evidence that Guccifer 2.0 are Russian agents. I know a lot of people are waiting for that evidence, but let's hear what the old Schiffster has to say about it.
I don't think that's okay. You might think it's okay that an associate of the president made direct contact with the GRU through Guccifer 2 and WikiLeaks and is considered a hostile intelligence agency.
Let's stop that. WikiLeaks considered a hostile intelligence agency. WikiLeaks, of course, has contested from the very beginning that they got these leaks from Russia. Never brings up that fact at all. We don't want to talk about that. I'd say that what we're hearing, Luke, it's a load of Schiff.
I totally agree. We're also getting new information that this initial investigation on Donald Trump has garnered a 300-page report. This is a major report. Now, of course, the Democrats, they're still scratching at the bits here, and they're trying to save face as much as they can. It's absolutely crazy. And of course, they're still demanding every bit of that evidence, every bit of those 300 pages, and I believe a lot of it should be released. But right now on mainstream media, they're still running with this delusional idea that somehow the Attorney General of this country, Barr, has manipulated, has somehow wrote mistruths, somehow has lied and totally manipulated the Mueller report, which he made a short little document out of, which he kind of summarized in his official release. But the mainstream media is still saying that the Attorney General somehow manipulated and lied in this report, and we need to see this full truth. How is that possible? With, of course, the FBI, all the lawyers that were a part of this, Robert Mueller staying silent if this was the case. If this was the case, we would be hearing from, of course, the people who investigated, like, hey, that's not what we found out. Again, just total, absolute delusion on the heads of the mainstream media. Meanwhile, the situation between Russia and the United States couldn't be any worse off than it was even before, obviously, than it was before the Cold War, with situations developing right now in Syria that are very serious, and of course also Venezuela that are also escalating to very dangerous proportions. And yet again, the mainstream media still somehow, like, yeah, Russia collusion, still trying to hold on to any credibility, but obviously they're losing it. Ratings for Rachel Maddow on MSNBC have plummeted ever since people found out this whole collusion thing was an absolute hoax. So absolute interesting developments happening here. How do you see this unfolding? You made a bet before that they're going to now try to talk about not collusion, but what was the thing you're saying, that this is going to be the major talking point right now, Jason?
Yeah, the new Russian collusion is going to be obstruction of justice. And if you look behind me, here's old Schiffster talking about how Mueller is going to have to come and testify before Congress. Let me repeat that. Just as I predicted, Mueller will take the House floor. He will then be questioned by every single Democrat about the second part of his report, because by then the House will have it. Some of it will be public if it's not already leaked. And remember, the first part was Russian collusion. The second part was obstruction of justice, which Mueller decided not to prosecute, but not to exonerate either. So this is all a big scheme to have this go on for another 2-3 years. God knows how long they can
and waste our time as we're literally being pushed for more war. Anything else you want to say, Jason?
Yeah, I mean, again, I think it's very dangerous. Luke, look, the fact of the matter is, just yesterday, Syria was being bombed in Aleppo on the heels of ISIS supposedly being defeated. We have a president that promised us several times during the election he was going to withdraw troops from the Middle East, including Syria. We have a president that over 6 months ago started talking about it's time to get out, it's time to withdraw, and then less than a week later was bombing Syria. We have a president that Schiff is talking about he's given favorable relations to Russia, when right now Russia is saying, hey, we're going to back Venezuela, get out of here, while the U.S. establishment is saying, with their elected leader's wife, nobody has even said is the president of Venezuela. Trump's sitting down with his wife going, Russia has to go. Meanwhile, in the UN, Russia is sitting there saying the United States has no right to declare the Golan Heights region Syria at all, and we're just ignoring it. And that's with 13 other nations. So Schiff sits up here, little Adam Schiff, the old shifter. Here he is. He's going to get Mueller out there, and he's talking about all this nonsense of us giving favorable Russian relations. No, they haven't been favorable. They've been escalating towards war. Listen, we took away the denuclearization treaty. We're in a second arms race right now with Russia, and no one's freaking out about that. Instead, they're worried about the PP tapes that don't exist, Luke.
Yeah, as you said before, Jason, he's full of Schiff, to say the least. Again, apologies for my sound and audio. I'm here, literally just landed in Phoenix for Anarco, Arizona. an event that's happening here. I'm going to be in Sedona, in Phoenix, probably also Las Vegas. So follow me on my Twitter for more developments. So we're going to be doing still 4 videos on the road. I haven't done this before. It's going to be a lot of work, but we're doing this because of you. There's a lot of important news updates. Stay tuned on this channel and also on our backup channel. We're doing a lot of work, and we're going to be doing a lot more for you here at WeAreChange.org. Stay tuned for more. Subscribe and click the notification button.